Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Namaste everyone. How,
Hello, good morning.
hope you are
Hi, good
well.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. We start the today's session right with the Om chant and then we will see the topic chakra. So keep your back and spine straight everyone. Eyes closed and chant Om one time along with me. Inhale. Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly. Thank you so much. And so today, Friday, we have, I think, Ru. Are you there for the presentation?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Good morning. And apart from Ru, anyone else who gonna speak today?
Me, Jennifer.
Jennifer, you were making SM. Okay.
Yeah.
So we will see first about the chakras and then we will give some time for Jennifer and Ru. Yesterday we have seen the two chakras and now today we will see with the third one we will start. So the third one is Manipur. Manipur chakra. Can you see the whiteboard? Manipura chakra, or you can also call it as solar plexus chakra. Manipura chakra has, what are the number of petals actually? Yesterday we have seen for the root chakra, the number of petals 4. Then we have seen the Swadhisthana chakra, that is sacral chakra, the number of petals 6. So what are these petals actually for this chakra? This is the point of intersection of the nadis on the spine, where the prana circulates, where the prana will regulate into these 6 or these certain points 4, 6 will create those number of petals on that chakra, and the regulation of prana will be done with the help of the chakra. It will be spread to each and every part of the cell when at the time of exhalation. I repeat, at the time of exhalation. So when we inhale, you need to write it down even if I will not write on the whiteboard. When we inhale, the prana goes in, holding that prana in, the holding of the breath in or out. That is what the regulation of the prana happens in our chakras. And at the time we exhale out, that time the prana reaches each and every part in our subtle body through this nadi. That means when we exhale, those toxics from the physical state of the body comes out. That is happening because of the prana removing the blockages from the energy channels in our subtle body. So when the pranic blockages are being removed, the toxics are being removed out when we exhale. So that is what we need to know here. Similarly, in the solar plexus chakra, you will see the number of petals are 10. So there are 10 number of petals. Try not to count my number of petals, you will just see. But here in the solar plexus chakra, the seed mantra will be Ram. The seed mantra in the solar plexus chakra, Manipur chakra, will be Ram. Then the color of this chakra will be which one? Bright yellow. Bright yellow. The element for this chakra, we have the 5 elements, the Panchamahabhuta, we say in the Sanskrit. Each element for this chakra will be fire. If you studied in the Ayurveda, the digestive fire, the Jathar Agni, there are 13 more kinds of fire. So Agni, if you have studied a very long time back in Ayurveda from teacher Durgesh maybe, that is what the element fire indicates for our solar plexus chakra. Jathar Agni. Then, what else? The sense associated with this chakra. What are the sense associated with this chakra? The sense of sight. So, whatever the nadis, Gandhari and Hastijiva, we have not studied much more nadis. We have just studied 3 nadis, Ida, Pingala and Sushumna. So, the nadis which originate from the center of gravity just below the solar plexus chakra that originates actually and end up in our eyes. So, those sense associated with the solar plexus is the sight. Problems with the solar plexus may also have the problem with the eyes, the blockages in those nadis as well, all. Also along with our nervous weakness. Then, we have color, element, sense. Again, what terms we have seen yesterday? We have Bij mantra, the seed mantra. So here I will write down the seed mantra, Ram, R-A-M, Ram. Can you see the whiteboard? Light is coming from here. So it will not shine now. Then, the color, element, sense, seed mantra, and the qualities of this Manipura chakra is our willpower. The basic quality of this Manipur chakra is the willpower. So our strong, to become strong, like the basic quality for this sacral chakra, Swadhisthana chakra was creativity, to become a creative. Here, the basic is our willpower, but the extreme form of the superpower, I repeat, the extreme form of the supernatural power that is known as Siddhi, with the solar plexus chakra is to create, protect, and to destroy any form of energy. To create, protect, and to destroy the energy within our aura. So within our aura, we can create, we could protect, or we could even destroy any form of the energy which may harm or which may be harmful to our 5 shets, to our 3 bodies, to our soul. Will not be able to even enter our physical body with the willpower and as strong as is our Manipur chakra. So that is what the extreme form of the Siddhi, which has to be used by the yogi only time after the enlightenment to get out his soul from the cycle of life and death, moksha, not to be used with his own desires and with his own ego. That is what much more deep concept. Then we have certain problems with the Manipura chakra at our level for the students, teachers, and the practitioners. For those like acidity problems, liver problems, pancreatic problems, indigestion problems are all the problems related with the Manipur solar plexus chakra. Okay, this is what, in short, quick about solar plexus. We will see the next chakra now. Cleared up to solar plexus? Yes, no? At least say yes or no, anyone?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll erase now. And we see the next, heart chakra. The quality for the heart chakra will be unconditional love. Heart chakra is known as Anahat chakra. Anahata, the name Anahata is the unstruck sound. The name Anahata means unstruck. The word it means unstruck sound. It means the sound which is not being created by hitting the two objects. How is the sound created? When two objects hit each other, then the sound is created. But the sound anahat means unstruck sound. That means when you see the sound, when you move the arm in the air, that kind of sound, or when you see the fan, the blades of the fan moving, or when you move a stick in the air, that unstruck sound, that vibrations of the sound inside our heart chakra, behind our thymus gland. So that is what thymus gland connected with the heart chakra, pancreas gland connected with our solar plexus. Similarly, sacral chakra, adrenal gland, and at the root chakra at the bottom, gonad gland. So this unstruck sound in the heart chakra with the vibration produces the unconditional love, that is without an attachment kind of love, not an attachment love. So non-attachment love for each and every soul. Not only I'm talking about the human being, but about all the living forms in this nature. That is what is being practiced by a yogi without keeping any desire and any ego inside his own soul, his or her own soul. That is Anahat, heart chakra. We have less time, so we are being watching this in a short, but it is very deep to understand and realize about the chakras. We are just giving an information here at the moment. The color of the heart chakra is green. The element for the heart chakra is air. The unstruck sound, the sense associated with the heart chakra is touch. The gland associated with the heart chakra is thymus, that we already studied in the endocrine system. Apart from this, the Bij mantra associated with the heart chakra is YAM, Y-A-M. Along with the Bij mantra, we have the qualities, that is the unconditional love associated with the heart chakra, and the problems, the physical problems like chest pain, cardiac muscle problem, high blood pressure problem, are all the physical problems related with the heart chakra, along with the lungs problem as well with the heart chakra. The emotional problems like fear is like the biggest problem with the heart chakra. For example, and the supreme form of the Siddhi, that means the supernatural power with our heart chakra. Here, the supreme form of the Siddhi, the supernatural power with the heart chakra, I will speak out. That is, this a yogi can live his or her soul for a certain amount of a time. That means his soul can be brought out in a state of meditation in that period of moment, but that is not for the permanent period of time. So the soul of a yogi could enter into any human or into any living organism according to his or her own will, accordingly his or her own will, but it is not being used by the yogi, or if it is used one time in his life, the Kundalini energy will drop down directly to the base of the spine. It will take another years and years for that yogi to do the sadhana and to get back again to achieve these supernatural powers with that Kundalini energy by raising the consciousness. So this Siddhi, one of the Siddhi, most important, helpful to achieve the state of moksha as well at the end after the enlightenment. The heart chakra, if we have not drawn the heart chakra, we will see here there are 12 petals you will draw. I will not draw here 12 petals. I will tell you the number of petals are 12. So here I will just draw these petals. These are 12 petals. But inside the heart chakra, the two triangles, inside these two triangles will indicate the unconditional love between the Shiva and Shakti. So the yogi of all the other yogis, the first yogi and the supreme form of the Shakti, that is the yogini, that which is the greatest, the supreme power Shakti, the feminine energy, that unconditional love, these two triangles inside indicate that the love between the Shiva and the Shakti, Lord Shiva and the goddess Shakti. And inside I will draw the seed mantra Yam, this Sanskrit letter Yam. Thus the petals are being drawn in a quick way due to the shortage of time. You will see the petals. This is important inside Yam, the letter. Okay, got it up to here? Yes, no?
Yes. I just had one question. In the Manipuri, sorry, was there an upside down triangle in that?
On the downside triangle in the Manipura.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes. Here is what the two triangles intersecting each other, formation of the love between the Shiva and Shakti in those 12 points, in those 12 triangles, here in those 12 planets, where the love, where our Vedic horoscope, so where this love represents in between the Shiva and the Shakti, so prana circulates in those certain points on our spine, right behind on our back, here at the center. So all the chakras are all behind, even if we point our heart in front, but chakras are behind on the spine. So we will proceed with the next now, that is our Vishuddha chakra or throat chakra. I will clear this out. Number fifth chakra, Vishuddhi or Vishuddha chakra. A is silent. That is our throat chakra. Okay. This throat chakra has the color blue. So the color of this chakra is blue. Write down. Then the number of petals for these chakras are 16. In the throat chakra, the 16 petals. Then the element for this chakra is space, ether, or the space. For the first chakra, earth. Second chakra, that is the sacral chakra, water. The third, solar plexus, fire. Here, heart chakra at the center, air. And at the throat chakra, space. Yesterday, I told you the first 5 chakras are the most important chakras for the physical state of the body. So we say body, mind, and soul, the connection between the first 5. Then comes our third eye with the mind, with the mental body, and the connection of the soul directly here with the crown. How? That we have studied in the Nadis when I taught you the important Nadi, Brahma Nadi, which originates from the heart and is connected to the soul. that we will see with the crown chakra. So the first five, the physical state of the body, more important. The sense associated with this chakra is what? What will be the sense? Here, the nadi is also connected with the sense of here. The qualities with this chakra is the communication, the sweetness, the melody is what? Our medium of speech is what? Our quality, the way we talk. And the problems associated with this throat chakra will be all our respiratory tract problems, the thyroid problems, the neck issues, the cervical problems will be the problems associated with this throat chakra. The major part of the siddhi, the extreme form of the siddhi with this throat chakra. Before writing siddhi, I will write down the bij mantra, that is hum. This bij mantra, H-A-M, hum. Even in my name, my name ends with this word hum, like Shubham. So this hum actually is what the seed mantra for the throat chakra, the last seed mantra for the physical state of the body. In this, when our throat chakra is completely active and open, mine is completely damaged. Not completely, but it is imbalanced. If it is completely balanced, then all the diseases and disorders from our physical state, from our subtle body, from our casual body will all be vanished with the help of the throat chakra. The first area or the region to get infection is what? Is our throat region. So it also controls all or each and every nadi intersecting from the throat chakra, going into each and every corner of the body. It removes all the toxics from it. That is a big concept to explain you here, but here it is what you have to remember. There is a bindu point, and in Brahmari Pranayama, it is how it is helpful, how it cleans the energy channels with the help of that Amrit, the divine liquid which falls down in our throat, and how this throat chakra circulates this divine liquid in the form of nectar by killing all the germs and bacteria into each and every cell with the help of the Brahmari Pranayama, one of the most important pranayama here to get rid of all the diseases and disorders and activate our throat chakra as well. Just starting. From here, the throat chakra will just draw a simple diagram. One circle, another circle in the center with the letter hum. So this letter hum I will show here. This is S and this is like. Hum. And around this you have to draw or you have to make sure there are 16 petals. The circle red one indicates the element space. Try not to count the number of petals. Make sure these petals are 16. Is your Vishuddhi chakra, the throat chakra. Okay, cleared up till here. First 5 chakra for the first 5 senses, for the first 5 elements. So 5 elements are over. 5 senses associated with the first 5 chakra, 5 elements associated with the first 5 chakras. Our physical body is made up of these Panchamahabhutas, first 5 elements. That is earth, water, fire, air, and space. Okay.
Can I just ask, is there a siddhi for this one?
Yeah, this is what the siddhi to develop our body completely so strong that not even a single damage can happen to our body. So disease-free, disorder-free body, not any injury with our body. So even a sharp object couldn't enter if our throat chakra is completely active, which is make sure our body completely gets so stronger with the help of Manipur, heart, and for the throat. That is the last chakra for the physical state of the body. So it makes our physical bones, muscles, and the aura. So we have two chakras outside our body as well, completely stronger. We are just watching the 7 major chakras on the spine, but in total, we have 114 chakras, 112 chakras inside our body, and 2 chakras outside our body. From that, we are just watching these 7 chakras, completely making our aura strong. This is free. Now, we will proceed further. We have more 10 minutes. We'll complete this chakra topic today. Tomorrow, maybe some people will be for a half day. Some people may not be there for this session as well. And this is our last week. So number 6 chakra, Agya chakra. Agya chakra is known as third eye chakra. Third eye chakra, here also, how many petals will be there for the third eye chakra? There will be 2 petals. And what are these 2 petals inside this third eye chakra? Can you tell me, any one of you? You forgot. These 2 petals are nothing but Ida and Pingala. The right side indicates the Pingala. The left side indicates Ida. I will write here left. This is right, according to mine. So left and right. So Ida and Pingala, these are the 2 petals. Make sure which originate from the base of the spine, intersecting all the chakras. It will end where? To our third eye chakra. Will drop down to our left and right nostrils. So this is what your third eye chakra. Again, the prana intersecting to these points will make your petals, Ida and Pingala. Very helpful, which has no element associated. The color of the chakra is violet or indigo. No element, no sense associated with this chakra, no element. This chakra not associated with any element means does not associated with the physical body, associated with our mental body. Physical body made up of 5 elements. First, the mental body is what? With the mind, connection with the mind. No element means you can write connection with the mind. And no sense associated. That means the 5 senses associated with our physical state here. But here you can say the 6th sense is associated with your third eye chakra. The 6th sense associated where? With your third eye chakra. We have the major qualities of the third eye chakra to forgive as well. Then, according to the physical problems, we have like headache, sinus, migraines, and brain problems. You can say these are associated with your third eye chakra. And according to the emotional problems like anxiety, stress, and depression will be the problems associated with your third eye chakra. This third eye chakra will have the supreme form of the Siddhi to reveal the insights of future. The third eye chakra, the supreme form of the Siddhi associated with it is to reveal the insights of the future. So with the opening completely of the third eye chakra for the great Lord, for the great completely in a yogic state after achieving the Kundalini, the consciousness raised up all the way till our third eye chakra will help a person or a yogi without any desire and without any ego in a state of meditation to reveal his or her insights of the future. He is the supreme form of the Siddhi associated with the third eye chakra. That does not mean a yogi can change his future. That is depend upon the karma. What we just to reveal the insights about the future, some of the basic things. But all are depending upon our own karma, what we have done. Whether it is good, we will see. Whether it is not good, that also. So this is what about the third eye. Okay, now we will see the last chakra, the Sahasrara chakra. Is this okay? Is it clear up till here? Have we written the seed mantra? Seed mantra is Om, but not without the, so this is the proper symbolic representation of Om. Om here is like this, where we begin. So Om seed mantra for third eye and crown chakra will be the same seed mantra, where it begins from third eye, where it ends on the crown. One single mantra. We have to chant for third eye and crown, simultaneously bringing the awareness on this chakra in a Khechari mudra. It is a very deep, vast knowledge actually to give you in short period, but we missed one session actually due to this Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra. Sahasrara, the word 1000. With this number of petals, 1000. But these petals are invisible. So 1000 number of petals, this chakra is how a small dot. And around this small dot, there will be 20 imaginary circles. There will be 20 imaginary circles. Like these 20 circles, I will not draw 20. And in each circle, there will be 50 petals. There will be 50 in every circle. This is how with each 20 circle, it will include 50 petals and will make the total number of petals 1000. This is what? A one single bright point in between indicating the seed mantra Om. Along with this, there will be no element associated at all for this crown chakra. There will be no sense associated with the crown chakra. This chakra has no color. Many texts, many Google information or many channels will say a different color associated with this crown chakra. But make sure what you are learning here, this chakra is a colorless chakra. Just a small bright light, one dot is the crown chakra, where if you studied the definition of yoga, Patanjali, where we control the fluctuations of the mind, where we will have no thoughts in our mind, where our mind is completely calm and relaxed, without any desire, without any ego, without any qualities left. The total pureness, the basic quality is the blissfulness, the complete pure form of happiness after leaving all the desires and ego within us. That is what the Kundalini rests up to your crown chakra. Will not speak about any violet, purple, indigo, any other color here, even if it is written in your book or not written in your book or on Google information. This is what we read from the tantric text. So this is your crown chakra. The major qualities is the blissfulness. Some of the problems like frustration and psychosomatic disease will be associated with this chakra. And along with that, the supreme form of the Siddhi associated with the crown chakra is a yogi can have a complete knowledge about his past, present, and future. So past, present, and future, I repeat, only complete knowledge, Atma Chintan, about his past, maybe his past lives also I am speaking about, his present and his future life. Unless and until his soul gets liberated from the cycle of life and death, a yogi completely achieves and gains that knowledge for the permanent period of time if his crown chakra is completely open. Extreme form of Siddhi. Namaste, iPhone, Diman, Diamond. We have someone new here, student or maybe.
Can I just ask, so that even the color white is not associated with this?
A color white is not. Yeah, it is a
No.
complete colorless chakra.
Colorless. Okay.
Just
Great.
bright red, I will say. When we
Thank
clear all the fluctuations of the mind. Yep.
Okay.
What I will learn, I will say honestly, but not from the books, I will say. Got it here?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything? Can we proceed now? We have ended your all the topics in your courses. We have seen all the information. In tomorrow's session, some people will be present or not present, but we will see some revise some things with me and some guidelines. I will tell you as a teacher, as a practitioner, how to be a professional person in your life. Even if I am friendly, even if you will be friendly with in your life, that guidelines I will tell you how to be professionally. We have to be with our students. So we will proceed with Jennifer and Ru. First, we will go with Jennifer. Jennifer, are you ready?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Sorry, Jennifer, we are late, but if you are ready, take your own time, 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay. So hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so I'm talking about connective tissue and connective tissue that supports, protects, and structure to other tissues, organs in the body. And connective tissue is made up of cells and also fibers and also like a gel-like substance. And there's so many kinds of connective tissue, but I'm going to give two examples of connective tissue. So one of it is ligaments. So ligaments is attaches bone to bone. So it's like firmly attached to the it's like a strap or a rope, yeah, that connects bone to bone. So like for example, here in our hands we have so many like straps or ropes here that connects the joints and the bones so that we can open and close our hands. So that is ligaments as I far as I know. And then also we have tendons. And tendons is a kind of connective tissue that connects the muscle to bone. So yeah, and tendons are found throughout the body and from the head and neck all the way down to the feet. So yeah, so muscle to bone. So that is tendon. So yeah, that is connective tissue. Thank you.
And about fascia,
Oh, about fascia. I didn't study about fascia. I only study ligaments and tendons. Sorry.
no problem. Actually, great. So fascia connects muscle to another muscle. That
Okay.
and thank you so much for your self-study.
Okay.
If you
Thank
have
you very much.
studied and giving a presentation, that is what makes us all happy also. And thank you for your dedication, actually, what you studied, what you prepared, and what you see. Thank you so much,
Thank
Jennifer.
you.
All was right here.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much.
can we proceed with now, Ru?
Yes, hi. Let me see if the lighting is okay here. Hello. Hi, everyone. It is a bit dark, isn't it? I need you to see my picture. Let me just sorry, everyone. So, hi, everyone. This is my presentation. Can you see that picture?
Yes, yes, yes. Ru.
All right. It's more important that you see the picture. So, I'm going to be discussing the digestive system. Okay, here we go.
Ru, your voice is little bit low. Can you make sure your
Oh,
voice is
How is that? Is that okay?
now? Yes, now it is better. Great.
I'm sorry, I'm just like juggling everything here. All right, so I'm going to be talking about the digestive system. So here is a diagram, and we've got the head here. So I'm sorry, I don't think you can see these little things here, but the labels, but I'll describe it as we go along. So the digestion starts in the mouth region, and we've got three different parts to the mouth. So we've got the teeth. Oh, let me just check. He has got teeth. He's got teeth, he's got salivary glands, and you've got the tongue. So with the teeth, you've got 32 teeth as an adult, 16 on the top, 16 on the bottom. With the salivary glands, now I don't think you can see, can you? Let me bring it a bit closer. Okay, so you've got these parotid, they're on the side of your cheek. And if you press on your side of your cheek with your hand, with your fingers, you'll probably notice that there'll be some saliva that will come into your mouth, because you've got these glands here. You've also got salivary glands underneath your tongue called sublingual salivary glands. And then you've got some underneath your mandibular. This is the mandibular, and this is called submandibular salivary glands. So you've got 6 salivary glands in total. So you've got your mouth, your oral cavity, you've got your teeth at the top, you've got your salivary glands, and you've also got your tongue. And your tongue has taste buds. So on the tongue, you'll have sweet, sour, salty, different parts of the tongue. So I won't go into that too much. So coming down now, this little pipe here, it's not so little actually, it's called your esophagus, and that's your food pipe. So here you've got your, can't read back the front, your pharynx, your throat basically, yeah. Let me just check, I'm telling you right things. And then you've got, sorry about this, a bit disorganized. So then you've got this green box there. I tried to color code them so you can see that clearly. That's your voice box. That's your voice box. So this is your pharynx, your throat, and then underneath you've got your voice box, and then you've got your epiglottis. This is your epiglottis. Now your epiglottis is a flapper tissue, and it will basically stop your air going down the food pipe and your food going down your air pipe. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so going down, traveling down the esophagus now. We've got this ring-like structure. Can you see that there? And that's called a sphincter. Now that sphincter basically stops any food coming from this bit here. This is the stomach. So you don't want any food coming up from the stomach past that. So when the food comes down into the stomach, in the stomach, you've got basically enzymes and you've also got hydrochloric acid. And that breaks down food. That also makes sure that the food doesn't have any contaminants, any germs, any bacteria on it. So it's all nice and safe for it to be in your body. Okay, now this little green triangle behind is the liver. And this liver will basically break down any fat. And within this liver, you've got this gallbladder. So I don't know if you can see the little arrows there. And that arrow is like basically the sort of bile. Liver produces bile, a yellowy substance that helps break down fat. And that bile seeps out into the stomach. And if there's an excess, it comes back into. So it's a bit of a like in and out system. All right, moving on. So from the stomach, trying to let this roll it up a little bit. Okay. Can you all see that there? Okay, good. So you've got this little squiggly thing there. It doesn't normally sit on the colon. Excuse my drawing, but it's usually just behind the stomach, and that's the pancreas, that little squiggly thing there. And that squiggly thing that produces enzymes as well to break down certain foods. As we all know, we have like carbs and proteins and fat, and there's different enzymes that have to be broken down. They are needed to break down these foods. So anyway, this red line, if you follow the red line there, that is the small intestine. And that small intestine, that is where the food goes from the stomach into the small intestine. And let me see if I've got any thing to say about that. Yeah. So the small intestine basically just, you absorb the nutrients from the foods there. Anyway, from the small intestine, it's then passed over to this large intestine, and there's a tube within that large intestine, and it basically all the food, the nutrients and the water has now been absorbed and taken to various parts of the body, and now you're left with the matter, which is the feces, and it travels out of the large intestine, and the waste products are excreted through the anus. So there you have the entire digestive system in a nutshell. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ru. Great. In a short period of time, very well explained, all the concepts cleared. I'm happy. Even all the students are doing really great in your presentation in this very short period of time we have, but really great, all of you, Ru and Jennifer as well. So we have tomorrow our last day of our course, and we will see in the tomorrow's session as well what we can see. Yes, Brittany or Blaise, you want to speak something?
Hi, sorry, I know we have limited time, but I just wanted to say thank you very much from everyone at Bali, and we won't be on class tomorrow because we'll be graduating. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you. And all the best with your graduation.
Thank you, Shubham.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. All the best.
Thank you. So
All
nice
the
to meet
best.
everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Ru. Bye.
So thank you so much for the students of Bali as well. And all the best for you. Try to keep in touch or keep consistency in your practice. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much. And with the rest of the students, we have the last class tomorrow. So see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you
Thank
tomorrow.
so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Merci.
Namaste.